Hey there members, so happy Sunday. Today is March 28th, which means April's right around the corner, right? We just saw the end of winter recently and we're in springtime, which is much welcomed. So this upcoming week, we have some fun, easy workouts. Recently, I spoke to a couple members who said they've loved watching my videos, and thank you all for watching. So in order to try and get you to use the videos and actually, engage with them and do the workouts, we've actually scaled all of the exercises back this week. So this is for everybody who's been thinking about trying these videos or haven't been really staying super active but want to maybe pick it up a little bit, or even for people who have been doing the videos this whole year and are ready for just a little change of pace. So this week is going to be nice and easy, pretty straightforward with different exercises, and we're going to have a good time doing it. So we're going to start off with mobility drills. So we're going to start with Monday, March 29th's video, so tomorrow. We're going to start with wall slides. So you're going to get a wall, you're going to just kind of make a W with your arms like that, all the way up and down. Now, what you'll notice is we're going to pretend like there's a wall right behind me. And if I have limited mobility, I'm not going to really be able to get my elbows to touch behind my body, right? But if I have a good shoulder mobility, I should, in theory, be able to get my arms behind my spine, or in line with my spine at least, to kind of make this W, right? So that works on your postural muscles, your rhomboids, your posterior chain, right? So all the muscles back here that kind of help keep your chest open and your thoracic cage kind of open a little bit. So after we do that, we're gonna go into shoulder sweeps. Okay, so you're gonna lay on your side or up against the same wall that you do your slides with, and you're just gonna do nice big shoulder sweeps. Each of these movements you'll do for about a minute each. So for example, the wall slides, you'll do a few reps, maybe 12 reps of those. Just really trying to squeeze the shoulder blades together and open the chest up, and then you'll move on to the shoulder sweeps. Here I'm going to do a minute, 45 seconds to a minute on each arm, and then again, so either using the floor or the wall that you just used for your shoulder sweeps, you can try. Now again, I'm trying to pretend that there's a wall here, so you'll see me turn my chest open and pretend to slide my hand along the wall. Okay, so what that does is I'm getting a nice stretch in my pec and my lat as I go overhead. So I'm really just loosening up my shoulder a little bit, taking it through its full range of motion. After that, we're gonna do a 90-90 hip rotation. So we've worked on this before. I'm gonna back up a little bit. So I'm gonna put my knees on the ground at 90 degrees to one another, okay? So if I draw a straight line here, like it's like the corner of a square, and I have a 90-degree angle between my tibia and femur, and then I have another 90-degree angle between this tibia and this femur. So from here, I'm going to keep my head up and my chest up. And honestly, you can just sit here like this. This is a good, if you don't have great hip mobility, this is awesome. Like for example, I can't sit fully on the floor with this left hip because my hips are a little tight, okay? So from here, I'm gonna go keep my arms up because that's what helps me with this movement. I'm gonna lift my knees and keep my heels dug into the ground, okay? And I'm gonna rotate all the way over. So again, my arms are up. This helps me keep a little bit upright. And then I'm gonna just dig my heels into the ground and roll it over. Now, I should be starting and ending in roughly 90 degrees each, right? And again, this hip isn't sitting fully. Eventually, I wanna get to the point where I can really kind of keep that hip down. But it's a good goal to aim for, right? So after we do our 90-90 hip mobility, we're going to do some cat-cow, okay? And then we're gonna end with book openers, which is another shoulder exercise. So cat-cow is shoulders stacked up above the hands and knees up to the hips. You're gonna bring your torso to your hips, your chest to your hips, and you're gonna do the opposite. So again, all of these are pretty basic movements that you can use to really just get loose before any activity. So after this, I'm going to do my book openers. Now, I'm providing this example because you could again do this on the wall that you used for your wall slides, but I like having gravity assist you with this movement, right? So let's say you have really, your shoulders are not very mobile. You might stop. I'm gonna flip around this way so you can see me. You might only be able to get like here, right? And that's fine. That's fine, it's a good starting point. But then what you can do is you just tilt your chest open. You just open your chest up a little bit. And then that way, now this arm is beyond that 90-degree angle to your body. And you can let gravity actually help stretch those muscles out in your pec and things like that, okay? So, again, if you're more comfortable on the floor, that's great. I encourage you to use that for your wall slides, your shoulder sweeps, your book openers, the whole nine. Also, you won't have to get up and down and up and down. You can kind of just stay on the ground that whole time. Or, you know, if you have like, we have a massage table here, or it's not really a massage table, it's like it's just like an elevated box. If you've ever been into the fitness center, that people can sometimes do these on. So that brings us to Tuesday. You're gonna do each of those movements twice through, by the way. So if you're spending, 2 minutes per movement, it's gonna bring you to about an 8-minute workout, 10-minute workout. If you take your time and really go 1 minute per side, that'll bring you to about a 15 or 16-minute workout, which is great. It's just mobility, it's activity. You can do it before you go swing a club, you can do it before you go play tennis or paddle or go for a walk or take your dog for a walk. You can do it before you go play with the kids. That's probably the most important time to warm up because they're all over the place. So next we're gonna do Tuesday, okay? So again, for those of you who have watched these videos or who haven't watched these videos, if this is your first time watching or participating, you can kind of see a trend in these videos. So you'll see Mondays like a mobility workout, Tuesdays like a very light, there's no weights hardly ever. It's just fast movement and short intervals, okay? So today's workout is only gonna be about 8 minutes long, okay? So for Tuesdays, it's gonna be very short and concise, but it's going to be very intense, okay? So this is based on a protocol called Tabata, right? And so long story short, there was a study published that mentioned a 2-to-1 work interval, specifically a 20-second to a 10-second work ratio was great at producing VO2 max results. So how well you can breathe, how well you can bring in oxygen during your exercise and perfuse that through your body. Pretty much it helps you breathe, right? So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this one. So it is 20 seconds off, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So you're gonna start with squat to floor touch, squat down, touch the floor, 20 seconds. So because it's only 20 seconds, you're really trying to go as hard as you can. I am not gonna do that right now because I'm trying to talk through this, so that would be kind of counterintuitive. So after that, the 10 seconds is a pulse squat. So the next time, once your buzzer goes off, drop it down and you just pulse it out, right? 10 seconds. You can do this, easy, right? Okay, then you go into 20 seconds of jumping jacks, right? So 20 seconds of jumping jacks, and then you have 10 seconds of a leg lift. You can keep it stationary if you wanna work on your balance and kind of catch your breath. Now I have you listed as doing 4 rounds of this. So you actually wanna do 1 leg lift on one side, 1 leg lift on the other side, 1 leg lift on the first side, so on and so forth. After your leg lift, you're gonna go into cross jacks, right? Nice and quick. Again, you can use this, you can incorporate this as part of the workout. So if you really liked Monday's video, you can do Monday's video and then this, and that'll really get you warmed up for your activity. So after you do your cross jacks, we're gonna do another pulse squat, right? So the timer goes off, right into a pulse squat. So pulse it up and down, okay? So after that, we're gonna do high knees. So get those knees up. I like to set a goal hip level, right? You can do that. Then after 20 seconds of that, breathe, right? So we just have you doing the standard breathing exercise. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, if you're intentionally slowing your breathing down, you should be able to get maybe 2 or 3 breaths during this time, and that's okay. Maybe it's 4, that's good too. You just want to be really intentional about breathing during that last round. So that brings us to Wednesday. So again, if you do 4 rounds of that, it's going to be about 8 minutes long. You can do that throughout bursts of your day, but that 8 minutes should be as intense as some of the other exercises. Okay, so we have Wednesday, 3 sets of 12 reps. This, again, because we're doing kind of like a reintroduction / beginner week, if you want to call it that, we're going to do a single dumbbell workout Wednesday and Friday. So we're going to start with an overhead press, okay? 1 dumbbell up. We're going to do 12 reps on each side. You want to go full extension here, making sure you're staying upright, pressing all the way up to the top of the range. Okay, I'm really glad that I demonstrated the mobility warm-up and that Tuesday workout, because this is helping me move this weight with less cracking and popping. So after that, we're gonna do a row. So the way you do a row with your dumbbell, you're gonna hinge forward at the hips. So you break forward at the hips, keeping a nice neutral spine or a flat back. Okay, and you're gonna row all the way, almost like you're trying to elbow behind you, right? Like you're trying to, do one of these, but you wanna keep your shoulder open, right? So again, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. When you do a row, you want to keep your shoulder open, right? And what I mean by that is you don't want to do this, right? Because if this is the portion of my shoulder that I'm talking about, you want to row and have this come back, and you can kind of see my pec here, right? You can see like my chest. Or whereas some people, if they row, they'll row like this, and you kind of can't see my chest here. It's kind of a little bit closed off by my shoulder. Okay, so when you row, think about sweeping the elbow along the side and giving that lat back there a good squeeze, okay? So after you do your row, you're gonna do your bicep curls, okay? And if this is too easy, you can go ahead, opposite leg stays planted on the ground, soft bend in the knee, and you're doing your curls. This is great for balance. Also get your core engaged because your body has to balance across, right? The weight's over here moving and it's stabilized over here, so your core is activated there. After that, you're gonna go into tricep extension. So again, you're gonna pretend like you just did a row, so your elbows up nice and high, shoulders pulled back. You're just gonna squeeze your tricep and try to get the palm of the weight up to the top of the ceiling, right? So back here, the bottom of the hand tries to kick that weight up towards the ceiling, okay? So then you do 12 on your left, flip over on the other side, 12 on your right, making sure your back stays nice and straight. You don't want to be curling like that. After that, we're going to do a lateral raise. So again, if you want to save yourself some time and you don't necessarily mind, you can do, both dumbbells. You can do double dumbbell overhead presses. You can do double rows, double curls, double kickbacks. I just like this because you get an ab workout while you're doing it, right? So you do your lateral curls, 12 on each side. Again, you want to keep a nice straight arm. That's going to put the most tension on your shoulder. If you have shoulder challenges, you can do this. You see a lot of people will do this one. So you're making a 90-degree angle here and then lifting the elbow straight out to the side. Sometimes that helps. From there, we're going to go into Thursday, which for those of you just joining us or just participating for the first time, Thursdays are our ab days. We do ab workouts on Thursdays. Scroll down and bring them. There we go, good. So again, all of these are pretty basic exercises. We're gonna start off with low plank, heel taps, a 2-inch crunch, a high plank with shoulder taps, and a lying lower body twist. All very simple. We're gonna start here. A low plank is effectively, you're gonna make a pause button with your arms about shoulder width away from each other. You want a nice flat back, bracing your core up on the balls of your feet, right? So these right here on your toes, pulling your abs in, good. So then after that, we have the heel taps. So that's a great stability exercise. So you're gonna lay on your back. I bring my knees up to 90 degrees. I'm gonna pull my shirt here. So you'll notice if I arch my back, you can actually see some sunlight right here and I can fit my hand back there. We're trying to avoid that when we do these heel taps. So we're pulling our back flat to the ground. You're gonna extend one leg at a time, nice and easy. Now I exhale as I press. my leg out because that's when it's most challenging for me to keep my back flat. And it also ensures that I'm breathing throughout the reps, right? If you don't breathe when you exercise, you'll exercise well for about maybe 30 seconds to a minute, and then after that it doesn't go so well. So you're gonna go to a 2-inch crunch next, which is exactly what it sounds like, right? It's a crunch, but you only move 2 inches. So you cross your arms, you can do straight arms toward the ceiling, up to you. You're gonna do a 2-inch crunch, and slowly lower, okay? So this is a little bit more than 2 inches. That's closer to 2, right? And you wanna get good at just using your abs, right? You'll see people do this, and you'll immediately feel that in your neck. So just take your time, little crunch, make sure your abs are braced here, and all the way down, okay? So then finally we have 2 more. We have the high plank with shoulder taps. So this is a little anti-rotation exercise. You just try to brace your core and try to tap your shoulders without like super rotating here. A little bit of movement's okay, but you wanna, for the most part, keep it pretty locked in tight. And then last but not least, we have lying hip rotation. This is some of my clients' favorite exercise because not only is it an ab workout, but it's also like a good lower back stretch. You just twist off to the side here, and then slowly bring your knees off to the other side. Try to think about stretching your abs, and then exhaling and pulling those abs across. Again, making sure I'm taking my breath, taking my time in breathing. Okay, good. So that's Thursday. Those of you who are just joining us for the first time, again, welcome. You are almost completely done. So we did mostly an upper body workout on Wednesday with 1 dumbbell. I'm just demonstrating it with 1 dumbbell, but you can feel free to use 2 dumbbells. And then Friday we have a leg day. Okay, so I'm gonna start with lunges. So for the lunge, again, I'm demonstrating with 1 dumbbell. My opposite hand of the leg that's planted is holding the dumbbell. I'm gonna lunge forward here. Nice straight line. Trying to keep my hips nice and straight, my abs engaged. My rear leg is relatively straight. There's a slight bend there, and I'm pressing off of the floor. Okay? Good. So then we're going to do a suitcase squat. So it's called suitcase squat because it's like you're carrying a suitcase. What you're gonna focus on here is keeping your shoulders and hips nice and even. You don't wanna shift side to side. The main benefit from this is coming from the unevenly loaded sides of your body. So you wanna squat. Now, it helps me to think of like having a weight in my left hand, but you can just relax and try to keep everything nice and symmetrical, right? And this is good for your abs, it's good for your back, right? You wanna make sure your body's staying nice and straight, your chest is staying upright, you're getting to 90 degrees or lower, and you're standing all the way up, okay? So after that, we're gonna do a Romanian deadlift. So again, I'm gonna demonstrate with 1 dumbbell. I'm actually gonna hold this weight in between, so I'm gonna straighten my arm, kind of angle that weight in towards the middle of my legs. I'm gonna bend at the knees, pushing the hips back, and then stand all the way up. So side view is like this. I support my lower back with my hand just to make sure my back's nice and straight, like I'm not arching. So I'll be here, bend at the knees, push the hips back, stand all the way up. Now if you notice, my knees are bending, but they're not really traveling forward too much. I'm just bending through them and then standing up, right? So not tons of knee tracking forward. After we do our Romanian deadlift, we're gonna do a glute bridge and a calf raise. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna lay on your back again. Okay, I pull my toes up so I can get a really good contraction in the legs. Squeeze. You can put your feet down too, it's all good. Squeeze. Exhale as you press. And slowly drop, okay? From there, we're gonna do our calf raise. So again, weight is optional. You just wanna make sure you have a nice full range of motion So all the way up as high as you can go, and then slowly lower it. Now, if you're holding a weight on one side for these exercises, you wanna make sure when you do your 4 sets of these, you're switching hands, right? So, or you do 3 sets, like I do 1 set over here, I do 1 set over here, and then that's 1 set, right? So you either wanna do 2 sets per side. You know what, no. You just wanna do 3 sets on each side, okay? So this is kind of, you're gonna wanna double the reps here. So 12, this is technically 1 set of 12, right? If I do 12 like this, I come over here and I do another set over here. So in total, you'll be doing 6 sets, 3 sets per side. If it gets too confusing, just look at the description in the video and you should be able to figure it out, okay? So that's it for this week. Thank you all for watching and participating. We are looking forward to seeing you around the clubhouse as the weather gets warmer, taking advantage of all of the wonderful amenities you have here at Philadelphia Country Club. Thank you so much for watching again, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Happy Easter.